Yo, as always, YouTube, I appreciate you guys so much for clicking on the video. Today I have an interesting topic to go over. You guys let me know what you think, but as always, let's go ahead and jump into the video. As always, I appreciate you guys for clicking on the video. If you do enjoy it, please be sure to drop a thumbs up on the video. So look, here's my thing. I've had different streamers, YouTubers, and content creators, and just all around people in my community asking me if I think Sparking Zero is competitive. It's been a main thing, especially on Twitch, with people doing tournaments and different things behind it, right? My main thing is that people are like, well, Rio, I don't think Sparking Zero could be competitive. And I'm like, okay, well, give me a reason why, right? So they're telling me their reason why on why they think it isn't competitive. And I know from me coming back from my background of pro gaming with playing Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and a lot of different things like, Street Fighter and Fighter Z, Blaze Blue, Marvel vs. Capcom, a lot of things will be there to where a lot of people play these type of games and see something like an arena fighter and be like, nah, this ain't competitive. These are real games over here. This is not a real game. This is just something to play around with, right? So in the comments, I would love for you guys to tell me on how you feel. Do you feel like Sparking Zero is a competitive game, or could it be competitive? Okay. Now, here go my take. I feel as if any single game, any fighting game, no matter what it is, I don't care if it's fishes with legs battling on land and you got to jump back in water to get air to come back up to do a combo. I feel like every fighting game, doesn't matter what I think or what any other YouTuber or streamer thinks, could be a competitive game. The thing that makes a competitive game is if there's an audience to watch it and there's funding behind it. And that's what makes it so crazy. You have a game like Yu-Gi-Oh that is competitive, and people that win a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, they don't even get nothing but a box of chocolate. They get some free cards. They don't even get no money. They argue in that community all the time about the lack of pay. But guess what? The audience is there to watch it because it's fun and it's impactful, and it doesn't even have a huge prize pool. You know what I'm saying? So what makes this so insanely tough for people to really understand is that all you need is an audience, and the audience will create funding. And once there's funding, you create entertainment. And once you have that entertainment, it is perfectly fine for a game to be considered a competitive game. Even, and I know a lot of you guys, one of your main things that you're fighting about is that the fact that a lot of these characters are not balanced. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 exists. That's all I can say. There's a lot of fighting games that are not balanced. If you still choose to put your time and stuff into it to watch a competitive play, and a certain player is good enough to not go in there with a team that is overly broken and win, then they're just gonna get more love and more stuff like that online. But I'm telling you guys that any game could be considered competitive. Just for instance, one of the most watched fighting games of all time, most consecutively watched fighting game of all time that held the most viewers is not Mortal Kombat. It's not Street Fighter. It's not Tekken. It's none of these games. It's not Blaze Blue. It's not Fighter Z. And Fighter Z was amazing, but it's multiverse. So when you look at how huge multiverse was with how much they held, it's fantastic. So when you look at Tekken 8, and Tekken 8 introduced the Battle Pass system, that's taken from multiverse. There's a lot of these games that really stands out that are competitive friendly. You even have people that don't take Mortal Kombat seriously, but it's still a competitive game. Okay, so with all of this being said, and moving forward and looking into games like this, you got to really think to yourself and say, well, do I just don't consider it serious enough? Am I the type of player that I just don't view something like this competitive enough? And that could just be what it is, just because it's an arena fighter. You want to see the side to side. You want to see the only 3D moving game that you want to see is Tekken, because you're thinking about footsies. You're thinking about how to play the neutral correctly. When you see them just shooting in here, you're not thinking about that they're playing the neutral. You're not thinking about that they're doing footsies to cover up the dashes. You're not thinking about that they're trying to jail them and keep them locked in to get them set up with a special move to force them to block. You're not thinking about all those things. Also, if I was to really open you guys' eyes to something like this, so if you play a game like Street Fighter, everybody knows a game like Street Fighter is very sweaty. But what happens when you play a game like Street Fighter and you look at a game like Sparking Zero? Sparking Zero is more taxing of a mechanical game than Street Fighter will ever be. Sparking Zero requires so much mechanics that you yourself couldn't even keep up with it compared to the Drive Rush and everything else that's in Street Fighter 6. So when you look at all these games with all the mechanics, all the buttons, all the on-fly, quick one-frame advantage things that you have to do at a whim to actually keep up in this game, it's actually insane. So when you look at a game like Sparking Zero, like, yeah, it may not be your cup of tea, but it is open to actually being a competitive game. And I feel like that's what a lot of people just don't understand, and they can't just overlook it, you know? So when you look at a game like Sparking Zero, it could do a lot, especially for gaming, because when you're in gaming, what ends up happening is that you're looking for something to eat your food to and actually lock in with, you know? So you're looking for entertainment. And this game right now, with how much it's sold, is one of the biggest entertainment that most people can have, and it has the audience for it, you know? So when I look at things like that, I definitely think to myself, like, okay, what else could they do for the fighting game community to really bring in and push themselves to the next limit of gaming and entertainment? And that's easy. That's very simple. That's with bringing a new core audience to the fighting game community. There's a lot of people who are not tapped in. There's a lot of people who are not paying attention. By the way, I needed to lose that because I'm not trying to lose my train of thought while doing this video, okay? Okay. So there's a lot of people in the anime community that's not tapped in. I'm going to give you guys some word of thought right now, some wisdom for you guys to truly understand this. If you really pay attention to the fighting game community, and I'm going to teach you guys something coming from Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, and all of that, the fighting game community is one of the lowest communities, one of the smallest, but it's one of the biggest with it being so loved. You see what I'm saying? The fighting game community is small compared to the BRs and compared to, and I'm talking about on the big stage, compared to the BRs, compared to just your regular shooters, all of those other genres of games that get so much love, so much backing, and so much support behind it. Let's say Sparking Zero was some of the biggest earnings on a fighting game behind Tekken. Why would you not welcome it? Because it's going to build up the fighting game community. The fighting game community already doesn't make enough money as it is. It's a small community. The esports people on fighting game communities, they don't make enough. They're small. These are players they should be content creators and not pro players. But the thing about it is, what makes it so crazy is that a lot of people don't understand that. You need the funding. You need to bring in more casuals. And if Sparking Zero could bring in more casuals, that would be amazing. One thing that the fighting game community always messes up with is that everybody wants to be a sweaty. Everybody wants to pay attention to the sweaties. The least important people are the sweaties. Because if you want the game to live, the most important people are your casuals. Your casuals are going to be buying skins. Your casuals are going to be spending money on things on DLC and different things like that. You as a player, as a sweaty, you should be here to try to help out some of the newer players to keep them around so that you can have more sustained, more sustenance in the fighting game community. And that's what makes it so crazy, you know? So I definitely feel like people are dragging it a little bit much with arguing over this game isn't a competitive game. And like I said, all you need is the funding for it. Like, let's say some rich guy loves Sparking Zero and he funded Sparking Zero. Guess what Sparking Zero is? At Evo, being a competitive game, cooking, being amazing. And you got to think about all the copies that this game has sold, you know? And that's just what it is. I'm not here to say, well, it is broken or it isn't broken or this isn't here. I'm just letting you know that a lot of the arguments are very one-sided, with people not wanting to understand that this could be a competitive game, and they're overlooking the aspect of how easily a competitive game is actually created, okay? So I hope that helps. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I want to hear you guys' thoughts about Sparking Zero. And it's all about entertainment at the end of the day. It's all about you guys having something to watch. I'm going to tell you guys one of the most entertaining games. Chat, you guys let me know in the chat. Spam up right now. What is the most entertaining competitive fighting game you've watched? I'm going to tell you mine. Mine is Fighter Z. Fighter Z is one of the funnest competitive games I watched in a very long time. Because Fighter Z was just so insane to me. It was everywhere. I couldn't look away. Even if I wasn't in the mood to watch, I was watching. Even if I was not in the mood to watch, I was watching. I was like, nah, bro, this thing is cooking. Seeing everybody doing what they're doing. Like, Fighter Z back in the day was peak cinema in the fighting game community. And that's what you got to think about. It's about the entertainment that comes across it. You know, I see a lot of you guys saying Smash Bros because that's great entertainment for you. Brawlhalla, Fighter Z, Tekken 7 personally. I'm seeing what you guys are saying, but that's your perspective too. And I love that your perspectives are different. Mine's a little bit different as well. But what I'm saying is that's how different it is. Most people would want to go with their traditionals, your Street Fighter, Tekken, and your Mortal Kombat. But Fighter Z was insane. So like I'm saying is, a lot of people didn't even welcome the Fighter Z on the market when it first came out anyway, until it forcibly shown how entertaining it was. And to really make a wave and be great is to be entertaining. And I love Tekken 8, and I think Tekken 8 is insanely entertaining. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment on the video. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy it, and I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. I'm always going over everything over here on Twitch. If you guys haven't been seeing the other videos, definitely check them out. Very informative. Leave a like I said. Subscribe if you love the content. I really do appreciate you guys. And shout out to the Twitch chat for helping out with the video. I really do appreciate you guys. All right, y'all take care. Much love.